What's up, everybody? It's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a super beautiful day. And today I have the iPhone XR in So before we get this little video started, please ignore the beard. This is for a Halloween costume party that I'm going to tonight, and as soon as that party is over, the beard is gone. So I have right here, this is the iPhone XR in Pearl, 256 gigabyte model. I just picked this guy up. I got it yesterday on the day of its release. And I decided to upgrade from my iPhone 7 Plus. So I decided to make a little video on it, just in case there are people out there that are in the same boat as me. If you have an iPhone 8 all the way down, why I think this is definitely going to be worth the upgrade instead of getting the XS and the XS Max. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not into paying over $1,000 for a phone. And so I already have the phone right here in my possession. Been playing around with it for a day, but of course I got a little unboxing for you, so let's check out the unboxing. All right, so here's the box. Let's see what we get inside. Don't need for a knife. Oh yeah. That plastic's out of the way. Open up the box here. Get your typical welcome packet, your Apple stickers. Pretty cool to get those. Here's that phone in the coral. Put that to the side. You get your non-fast charging brick. Your lightning headphones, lightning cable. Oh, look at here. They gave me a lightning to 3.5 millimeter adapter. And no, it actually does not come with the little lightning to 3.5 millimeter little dongle. That was just a little Halloween joke that came from my iPhone 7 Plus. Because Apple thinks that if you can afford to pay $749 and up for a new iPhone, then you can afford to buy a $9 dongle, right? That was totally like sarcasm. A little bit more of that plastic feel good. Oh yeah. Alright, so you want to move on up from your iPhone 8 or earlier. Let's do a size comparison, shall we? Now I have the iPhone 7 Plus, as I mentioned, right here. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller and a little bit thicker, I should say, than the iPhone 7 Plus. But the cool part is you're getting more screen real estate, because the iPhone 7 Plus only has a 5.5-inch screen. Same thing for the 8 Plus, 6 Plus, you know. This gives you 6.1 inches of screen, and it's pretty much bezel to bezel. It's a little bit thinner, a little bit longer, but you still get more screen real estate. And this right here, this is the iPhone 6. Pretty similar to the iPhone 8, iPhone 7. So that's the difference you're going to see if you're moving from one of those phones. It's significantly bigger, but you get more screen real estate, of course. I think you're going to like that. It's a little bit heavier too, and it's also a little bit thicker. But I don't think that's a deal breaker. I think you'll be able to adjust just fine to it. Now, if you really want to get crazy, and there's people out there that are still using like the iPhone 3GS or the iPhone 4S for some reason, and I'm pretty sure there's people out there that's probably doing that. Yeah, it's going to be like way bigger than those phones. Let's talk about that screen though. Everybody's been razzing this phone ever since the day that it was announced about the screen, because not only is it LCD and not OLED, but it's barely above 720p. And a lot of people have been razzing it, especially because it has the same PPI as the iPhone 4. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be honest with you, playing around with this phone, the screen is just fine. I mean, it looks great. I did like a side-by-side comparison with video with my iPhone 6 as well as my iPhone 7 Plus. And as far as I'm concerned, I really couldn't see the difference. And then even looking at this phone, not looking at video and just looking at the icons on the screen, and I compared it side by side with my 7 Plus, which has a 1080p screen, it actually looks better than my iPhone 7 Plus. So if you're coming from an iPhone 8 or below and you're picking this up, you're gonna be just fine. Don't let all the things that people have been saying about this screen scare you. It looks good. And another thing that I want to point out too, is like a lot of people are saying, okay, so it's only 828, that's barely above 720p, so now I'm gonna be stuck watching 720p content on this phone if I pick it up. Well, that's kind of true, but it's kind of not true. I mean, like if you go somewhere like say YouTube and you pick a 720p video and you watch it, yes, it's going to be in 720p, but you do have the option of selecting 1080p and watching the video in 1080p. Basically what this phone will do is it'll downscale it to 828, which in theory is going to be better than watching it in 720p. And it also helps too that I did 2 reviews on this channel, one on the Samsung Galaxy J3 Luna Pro and the Moto E4 Plus, both with 720p screens. I thought those screens looked fine. This blows those out of the water. But can it hang with the XS and the XS Max? Oh yeah. This phone has everything that the XS and the XS Max has. Apple was kind enough to give us everything under the hood that the XS and the XS Max has. So it has that A12 processor, which is going to give you like a lot of speed, especially if you're coming from an iPhone 8 or below. You're definitely going to notice the speed. And also with that processing power, you'll be able to play around with Animojis and Memojis and VR and all that stuff. This thing is fast. And I saw a couple of people doing tests on YouTube, you know, like with Geekbench. This phone is actually scoring higher than the XS and the XS Max. And let's talk about the style. Let's talk about the stilo. If you're coming from an iPhone 8 or below, you're gonna love this style. It's a definite upgrade from those previous generation iPhones. I mean, it's sleeker. Yeah, it's a little bit thicker if you're coming from like a 6 or 7 or 8. But it's definitely sleeker. You're getting pretty much almost all screen here. The little like edges here, a lot of people say it's a lot thicker than the iPhone XS and the XS Max. But if you've never owned one of those phones or the 10, getting this as opposed to what you're getting in one of the older Plus models or the regular size models, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna like it. It's gonna be stylish, especially with the different colors that you can choose. I chose the because for me it's like a cross between pink and orange. Pink is for breast cancer awareness and orange is for ADHD awareness. So that was like perfect for me. All right, so what are my final thoughts on the iPhone XR? If you're like me and you're coming from an iPhone 8 or earlier, this is going to be your upgrade. Trust me. Don't waste your money on the XS or the XS Max. Unless you really want to. You got money burning holes in your pockets. Go ahead and do that. I could have easily gotten the XS or the XS Max. To be honest with you, I wasn't even like considering the XS Max, because I just think that phone is just way too large. I'm not in the business of paying over $1,000 for a smartphone. I'm just not gonna do it anymore. For me, this was an upgrade that was good enough, especially for what you're getting. True, you're only getting one camera instead of two, but it can pretty much do everything that the XS and the XS Max can do, with the exception of portrait mode. Software pretty much handles that on the XR, whereas those dual cameras handle that on the XS and the XS Max. Sure, you're getting the LCD screen instead of an OLED, but it looks really good. I mean, for today's standards, LCD, this looks good. I don't know what Apple did, but this is an amazing screen. I like it. It's really cool. The other thing is I forgot to mention too is that if you're coming from, like, say a 7 Plus or below, kind of like me, now you're getting introduced to wireless charging, which I'll admit, I think it's just a gimmick until I got a phone that could do it, and it's kind of cool. And a lot of people, you know, are probably thinking, hey, this is just modern day 5C. It's not. It's not plastic. It's a heavy, durable phone. It's not like they gave you last year's processor like they did with the 5C. So don't worry about that. Your phone's going to be just as fast as those other phones. And I was thinking the same thing too. I was so much thinking that I already, like, way before the phones were announced, went out and bought a bunch of iPhone 10 cases because I just knew I was getting the XS. And then when I watched the keynote and I saw all the specs and what was underneath the hood with this guy, I just bought all this for no reason. I'm just gonna give it to my friend who just recently bought an iPhone 10. And we are going to get a little bit more into detail about this little single camera right here. I got another video, guys, that I'm working on for you. I'm gonna go out there out in the field and test this little camera out with video and photo, because I'm a hobbyist. I love videography and photography, so I want to see how well this phone performs. So I got that video coming up for you real soon. So you're gonna want to subscribe for that and turn on the bell for notifications, so you'll be notified when I upload that video as well as future videos. And until I see ya in the next one, this is PJ the Great saying Audi 5000G. It's right here.